Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neal Ruhl. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D energy.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Big D Energy.
Big D!
Right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. That guy over there, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, here in the house. We have Sam Flannel. We do not have Spencer Raster today. We do have BMG. Big Mike Gentry is in the house. BMG, what's up?
What up? I'm in a different booth today.
You are in a different booth.
Yeah. I'm here.
You're a utility guy. You're the Shane Halter.
Grind
Woodward
I do it all.
Look at the grind liner.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah,
Picking it up, putting it down.
That's exactly what it is. Jump into that WoodwardSports.com chat thread like Detroit Dabber 313. Good morning. Good morning, you all. Robert Closia. I like morning. Just one N on the end of it. D-Mac, what's popping, man?
No, nothing. Just obviously playoff basketball. I asked you, Boston staved off elimination from Miami. Is that series over? And you said no. Boston with home field, and they proved, Miami being Miami, shooting 30%.
They got that in them.
They got that in them. So you said that series isn't over. But I want to focus on if you watched the Vegas Knights Dallas Stars game last night, and that game was over real
in about
early.
7 minutes. Yeah,
real early. 3-0 for Vegas. After 7 minutes, they ended up winning 4-0. Congratulations to Austin Hills for a shutout for Vegas. They're up 3-0. But what I want to focus on, if you watch the game, is probably one of the most gutless chicken shit plays that you can make, and it's done by a gutless chicken shit guy. I mean, somebody asked me, if I played today, who would you want to fight? I got my answer. And it's Jamie Benn. Not for just what he did to Dylan Larkin a few years ago off the draw, right, which he still didn't have proper payback for it. Last night, if you watched it, down 1-0, his team is down 2-0 in this series. He wears the C. He's the captain, supposed to lead by example. What's he do? He finishes a check, which was clean, on Mark Stahl, and then decides he's going to take liberties, and he cross-checks him right across the side of the face. Gutless play, selfish play, and I think you nailed it, Neal, when you said, how does somebody not only be that selfish, especially being a captain, and take his personal feelings in front of 20 other guys at the most, at something you've worked for, conference finals. You're not out of it. You're down 2-0. You're at home. You take a 5-minute major, boom, put yourself out of the season. Now you're out of it.
Yeah, and that's
not
it.
leadership, and it's just gutless. And if you haven't watched it, and obviously we can't replay it, or if you get flagged by the AI, but go look at it. And because Jamie Benn, I expect to be suspended, and I wouldn't be surprised if he got, the rest of this series and a couple games to begin the new year, because there's no place in the game for that.
I don't get it, D-Mac. I get it. You're pissed off. You're down 2-0. You're down in the game and everything like that, dude. You can't get in your feelings at the expense of 20 other dudes.
Especially when you're supposed to be that experienced. Yeah. Right? They're supposed to be the experienced team, right? That had been there, that had been to the Stanley Cup Finals.
It makes me want to fight them too, D-Mac. I'll square up with them.
Look at you. The wordsmith.
For real.
Wanting to get physical.
I'll square up with them, man.
I got your back. But it's just that's the stuff in the game that there's no call for. Right?
I agree with you, man.
And especially because I feel bad for all the Stars fans, because I see it in, Jack Carrington says Stars are screwed. Yeah.
Yeah, they're cooked.
They're cooked. Absolutely cooked.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Coach Richie 22. Hey, everybody, on a road trip to the family with Arizona, go Big D. They will now have to listen to this amazingness. Go Big D. Well, Coach Richie family, enjoy the road trip. Have a good time in Arizona. Are we there yet? I have to go to the bathroom.
Not.
Coach Richie, can you pull over? I have to go to the bathroom.
I'm thirsty.
Can we get McDonald's?
Yeah. All right. Safe travels.
Yeah, absolutely. Go Blue 7 described it in a way that I agree with, the whole Jamie Benn situation. It's not even like the heinousness of it. I can get past
It's
past
the selfishness.
That's what it is. There's 20 other dudes, dude, that have given everything to get to this point. And as you said, you're not dead yet. You're dead now. You're dead after a 5-minute major. You're dead after you're down 3-0 7 minutes into the game. Now you're dead. But I don't know, man. I don't got time for it, man.
No, I don't have time for it either.
Spencer Raxter is not here today. He's procuring his new ride, as a matter of fact. You guys know the trials and tribulations of Spencer Raxter minding his own business at the stoplight. Boom, gets rear-ended, car gets totaled, and the month-long odyssey that is wrangling with the insurance companies. That's always a fun process. You've taken it to the streets with the insurance companies before for different reasons, but it's always a fun process, as your brethren would say. But Spenmo Rax got the new car. Is there anything more electric than when you get a new car, man?
For that first
month.
Initial, is it the month?
3 weeks, a month.
How long does it take? And it all depends, because now how long does it take you to figure out all the gadgets? Right? That's
true.
That's usually, I'm usually the one, where's the gas can? You know, with all that stuff.
Which side
is it on? And you can look at your...
the little gas gauge. See, mine is on the opposite side of my wife's car, so like I still don't know which one is which. I still to this day have to look down on both cars.
I'm sure you're not alone.
Yeah.
So with the new car smell and all that stuff,
it's like a new computer.
Something in it, right?
Yeah, it's all clean, and your dirt. The slob that you
possible.
are has not permeated the new car yet. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, BMG.
Oh yeah, my car is pretty clean though. So
is it?
Yeah, besides from the trunk, but that's for all the golfing equipment, all that. So
all the sports stuff.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, so it is. Zachary Jones, what up? Yeah, what up, Zachary? How are you, man? Good to see you in here. Do got the show lined up for you though. There is quite a bit of line stuff in there, and we're getting to that point, D-Mac, right, where the draft has come and gone. The OTAs are here. They'll be done soon. Not that there's a lot that you're going to deduce from that and stuff like that. But we're getting to that point now where I call it the philosophical discussions will come into play from now until about July. Philosophical discussion. Top 10 list. Who's the best? It's our time to shine, D-Man.
Yeah, and it's all speculative because, really... It's exciting, Neal. It's exciting because we're legitimately in the talks. It's not like we're talking out of our ass. How many years were you're grasping for straws just to pull something positive out? There's a lot of positive coming out of Detroit. It's stoked, not scared. Now's the time to be stoked until
Stoked, not scared.
Stoked, not scared. If there ever is a time to be scared.
Stoked, not scared.
There you go.
Stoked all day.
Detroit Dabber 313. I still have a 2013 Honda Civic LMAO. Still only has like 70,000 miles on it. I put about 70,000 miles on my car like a year, it seems, driving these kids everywhere that they got to go. But yeah, it is. It's new car stuff that's electric, so shout out to Spenmo. People want to know, did Spenmo get a Mini Cooper? I think you got a Chevrolet Blazer, right? I think that's what it was.
To my knowledge.
To our knowledge. No, he's not getting a Prius. Derek Spenny doesn't strike me as a Prius kind of guy.
No. I see Spenny as like a Ford Explorer, dude.
Yeah, I do too. I do have to say, I think for my next
Blazer,
my next vehicle, I am going to make the EV switch. I think I'm going to do it. Yep.
Okay.
I think I'm going to do it, D-Man.
Let me know how it goes.
Where are you at with the electric vehicle?
Yeah. Dude, it's like I still got an iPhone 7. I mean, it's like I like the gas because I know I'll eventually get with the times probably, but I'll let everybody else do it first.
Everybody else do it first? Okay. Yeah. What about you, Sam Flannel?
Oh, yeah. Well, recently I actually had to get a new car. I was on my way to the Michigan-Ohio State basketball game, which I did not make, and my car metaphorically exploded. But given that I was able to remedy the situation very quickly by getting a car at Feldman Chevrolet, one of our favorite sponsors. Yes. Yeah, having a new car, it was way more up to date than my old one. It was an electric feeling, and honestly, it still feels great. My sister actually still has her car she's had for years, and I got in it yesterday, and it was just not even nearly as modern as mine. So that was kind of a nice little flex on my part. It's a great feeling, and it's still great, even though it's been, 4 or 5 months now? Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah. What about you, BMG? Does the EV intrigue you at all?
I mean, I guess I would get one, but like it really depends. I have a Jeep Grand Cherokee. Neal, you've parked next to me like a million times, so you know what I drive. Honestly, I'm just sticking with that. Like I'm all gas, no brakes.
I do wanna let you know that it is in my contract that I get the closer parking spot. And I didn't say anything to management, the first couple times because I'm not that kind of dude.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to do it publicly, so I guess I am that kind of dude. It's in my contract. If there is an open parking spot, and you've noticed I haven't parked yet, do not take the closest spot.
Yeah. No, that's understood.
That's reserved for me.
That's understood.
And
not a problem.
It's not you. It's in the contract, BMG. Sorry.
It's in the fine print. I understand that. I understand that.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
Or Michael, just feel free to just wait in the spot till Neal pulls up and save that spot.
Yeah.
I mean, that really
you're
that
thinking.
would be above the rim.
Now you're thinking, Dan.
Steven Syrett says Neal's acting like he's on the final word. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready. That is
absolutely.
We don't have access to the spots like right here. You see the parking spots that are behind D-Mac's back, like right. Yeah, you see the spots right there. No. Those are off limits. Those are final word only spots.
Absolutely.
So
and it says that if you show up.
It does.
Outside. I think it even says Tom Aswell.
David Mentier says, when does Neal move to 2 p.m.? John Lord, Neal laying down the law. So it is. And Mike G, that answers your question. Doesn't the Final Line show get spots right out the studio? They do. It's all right there. A little bit later on, they'll tow these cars that are parked here, and then they'll put the cones down, and somebody will stand there until the final word personnel get here. And then once they park, then the person that handles the cones can leave and go about their day. So that is the way that it works. So, it's something where everyone knows the score, though, D-Mac, right?
Absolutely. Just is what it is.
You didn't get to park as close as Steve Eiserman did you?
Oh, no, dude. And then I got to park over at Kroger, so it's a good walk. I get my steps in.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Part of my contract.
No. The old final word slander, dude. I love it. It's fun, man. It is a lot of fun to go back and forth with them. No, but there is a Lions discussion that I want to get into that really made the rounds on social media, and it was interesting to me because I still feel as though, despite my best efforts, I still feel as though this unit is slept on nationally. We will discuss after I tell you about Cintron, the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. And right now, an exclusive offer for Woodward sports fans. You can get their Red Wings edition 6-pack sampler box, $15, free shipping. Boom, right to your door. So why wait? Go to drinkcintron.com/Woodward. Again, as D-Max Countryman would say, drinkcintron.com/Woodward. And you can try them all. The great tasting Cranberry, the classic, or the sugar-free, the official energy drink served at Little Caesars Arena, Keyworth Stadium. And if you ever see D-Mac out and about at any of those venues, he's usually smashing a Cranberry.
Smashing them.
It's Cintron, Darren McCarty.
Drink it, live it, love it with Cintron.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
How would you like to see famous athletes like Jim Harbaugh, Darren McCarty, Brilliant Edwards play golf with average Joes? Thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you'd be able to do just that. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make the wise choice. Pay attention to Woodward Sports for more information coming soon. It's a Randy Wise Automotive Team Celebrity Golf Tour. Back at it, off and running. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Big Mike Gentry in for Spenny, who's procuring his new automobile as we speak. This made the rounds yesterday, and the question was posed. They talked about the best units in the NFL. Like what teams have the best units, what areas are the best, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the question got posed, is the Detroit Lions offensive line a top 5 unit in the National Football League? And D-Mac, again, you know my stance on it. They are anchored by one of the 3 best offensive tackles in the game of football, even though Sam Flannel doesn't agree. But I'm usually...
you know what? That actually, to me, that he disagrees makes it more valid.
Well, and that's the thing.
That's just how I take it, and I tend to agree.
And that's the thing, D-Mac, is... I'm usually first to the party on this stuff. Like the Jalen Hurts thing is a good example, right? Remember that discussion? Remember the Neal, Jalen Hurts sucks.
No, and honestly, like Jalen Hurts, I was not a believer. He had to prove it. He had to show me. You were the one, like, where that's one person where you said, no, he's as good. And I was like, I'm not there yet. And you're like, okay, you're going to see. And I'm like, I'm waiting to see. And then I was like, I saw, right? I saw. You know, a lot of different things. The eyeball test is the biggest thing against the different guys that he's gone up with. Obviously, you know, the Aaron Donalds and the Micah Parsons and stuff like this. There's something to the fact, you know, Jamal Williams sets a rushing record for the team, right? From short yardage. I get it, but you got to run behind something. And if it's not Penei Sewell, it's the offensive line gets credit for that, for punching it in. We've said it all along for the past few years. We need to push both ways, and we can agree your biggest asset is your offensive line as a unit. Now, right? Now Vitai's still on the team, correct?
Correct, yeah.
So that tells me right now, because that's a guy that we sort of speculated might be bought out because of contract, but maybe he is going to be healthy. Maybe his impact, because we saw the impact of what he had off the field with Penei Sewell and the relationship there. So I'm on board 100% with you with Penei Sewell and with this unit, that this unit has to be top 5 for this team to win this division. But that's what I expect right now here on Chris Draper's birthday, May 24th. He's 52. He's the oldest of all of us. Congratulations, Drapes. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Drapes. No doubt about that. Pickleball, you know, for a hockey player, hell of a pickleball player.
Top 50 over 50 in the world. Chris Draper. That's it. Pickleball. Don't play him. Ninja hands. Quick.
Yeah. BMG, putting you on the... there's a graphic for this, right?
Probably. Yep.
Probably. Okay. I know BMG is locking it down right now. But just to do a cross comparison with it, because... When you look at it and you look at what are perceived as the top groups in the National Football League, there's some good ones. Eagles defensive front chimed in at number 1. This is according to Bucky Brooks, I guess. So shout out Bucky Brooks.
I like Bucky Brooks.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and this goes to what I always say: don't tell me what, tell me who. So, if this is a guy that you tend to listen to as far as prognostication,
yeah, he's out there.
So,
Bengals wide receivers at 2, the 49ers linebacking core at number 3, the Lions offensive line at 4, and the Dolphins secondary at number 5. And you know, obviously, they've had some big time additions to their secondary. But D-Mac, I think that the Lions' offensive line is as good as any of those other groups. Now, truth be told, if you were going to boil it down, I think player for player, like the Bengals' wide receiving core is so good they can't keep everybody. Like, that's how good their wide receiving core is. They're going to have to trade T. Higgins.
I don't think they will. I think that Joe Burrow, from what I'm hearing, as far as Joe Burrow working it out with the team, they're going to figure out a way. You know, they're going to figure out a way. Joe Burrow's going to go Tom Brady-ish. Or whatever, and they're going to figure out a way. But to that, just be here. Let's step back and whether you agree. There's some people in the chat thread saying top 5 offensively, debatably top 3. But when you look at that right there, the Detroit Lions offense does not look out of place. No,
it does.
It does not look out of place with that list. Now, with great expectations,
come great responsibility.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but. Again, if you want to look at the 30,000-foot view of what the country thinks of your offensive line, that would be more the norm.
And for me, that is interesting you brought it up from that perspective, because that was exactly where I was driving at, is when you do look at that list, the Detroit Lions offensive line, I can make a case that they are as good as any group on that list. Maybe again, I would nudge towards the Bengals receiving core because they are.
See, and here's where I'm at. I don't think my fandom, not in a position to argue, just the fact that I'm in the conversation is good enough for me right now until they go out and prove it, right? How can you argue against the Philadelphia defensive core, right, that had gone to the Super Bowl and whatever? How can you argue against the talent? Like all those units, wow. This just tells me that I think that if Detroit's up there for the offense with everybody else, that they are highly. The expectations aren't out of reach of what we're expecting here because it's the same way across the league.
And when you're Sam Flannel and you think that Penei Sewell's mid and doesn't have that much of an impact on an offensive line. Now, Sam, I'm busting your balls a little bit here, but seriously though, who puts that over the top? Why are they getting this shine now? Because of the arrival of one man.
Well, of course it was Penei Sewell who really put this offensive line to the almost elite level which they're at. I'll tell you what, one thing that I noticed when I saw Bucky Brooks's list is that there's no offensive line unit rated above the Detroit Lions according to him. I still think the Eagles' offensive line is better, but that's neither here nor there. If this Detroit Lions offensive line performs as the number 4 unit in all of the NFL for the 2023 season, that will mean that Penei Sewell, I think, will have taken that leap to being in the same conversations with guys like Trent Williams or approaching that level. And if that offensive line performs like the best offensive line in the NFL, what are we talking? 12 wins, division title, playoff win, maybe multiple playoff wins? That would be huge for this team. I still don't think they're quite there yet, but I think their ceiling as an offensive line is the second best in the NFL, and their floor is like 5th. It's going to be an elite unit.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Mike says Flannel thinks that Penei is mid, but Adam had Penei Sewell on bust alert on his rookie season. He didn't really, did he?
I can't confirm nor
Mike
deny
G keeps receipts, though.
He very might be correct in that Adam said that. I can't confirm nor deny that. And I never said Penei Sewell was mid. I'm just not ready to call him Trent Williams or Orlando Pace or like if Jesus and Trent Williams had a baby, it'd be Penei Sewell yet, like you, Neal Ruhl.
Well, they're going to end up in the same building when their career's over.
Well, Trent Williams and Orlando Pace Orlando Pace is already there. Trent Williams is Penei Sewell. We still have to see.
They're all on the same highway, and they're all getting to the same cabin to go on vacation.
I'll tell you what, I think you're a little over the top on that, but I would tend towards you're going to be right, for real.
So then you don't think I'm over the top. If you agree, you can't say I'm over the top,
no,
Sam Flannel. You're agreeing with what I'm saying.
You said Penei Sewell's gold jacket but you said that after his rookie year already. That's a little crazy.
No, he said he was stitching. You never said. You said that the material.
I said that they should get a jump on inflation and start making it now.
You said, and then you continued. Is that wow? They've got it. It looks like it's a 52 large or whatever.
52 wide.
Like you've been knitting the jacket. He hasn't given him the jacket. Right? You haven't given him the jacket. You said he's on pace. Now you agree that the jacket is a formality.
100%.
100%.
I believe that.
So do I. It's a formality.
I don't know about formality.
Can we chat poll that
Trending
one,
towards
BMG?
that way.
Right here, right now, is Penei Sewell a gold jacket? Right here, right now. And BMG will put it out there to the people. And... yeah, Mike says, I do keep receipts. Adam had him on bus camp. It was the craziest thing I ever heard on Woodward Sports. Next to Maz's bowling stories.
You know what Neal, you know what it might have been, and this turned out to be a false narrative. Remember there was a little bit of concern that Penei Sewell was going to be moved to right tackle? I think that might have fueled that narrative by Adam, but obviously he's succeeded. He's been great.
Yeah. What goes bump in the night said, Neal said, get the jacket ready the day he was drafted. Haha. I did not say that. I said that after the Rams game when he squared up with Aaron Donald.
You were saying to get the stitching and get ahead of the curve.
Yeah, materials are only going to be more expensive.
Yes.
Will it be cheaper?
I keep receipts too.
Yeah, D-Mac, will it be cheaper to make a gold jacket today or 12 years from now? Today. Like, we know that, right? Today. For something you know you have to do, lock it in now. That's all I'm saying, D-Mac. I don't think that's unrealistic. It's up there right now from courtesy of BMG as Penei Sewell, a future
But
Hall
isn't
of
it like
Fame.
we're talking about the offensive line, right? We're not talking about 5 guys. We're talking about the whole unit. We're talking about guys that are stepping in, whether it's a new guy, Spenny's boy they just drafted, or guys like Dan Skipper, or guys that have filled the voids. Now Vaitai too. It tells me, and I read this in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Also, forgot who said it. But I tend to agree with this. If that we haven't seen Vaitai cut, there's plans for him, right? And I know that when he was healthy, he showed to be why this offensive line is ranked top 5. So I'm excited to see that too. Maybe there's different things like you wanted about OTAs and what you can't really get anything out of it. It's all speculation. Maybe it's just more like health is some of the question marks that we don't know. Not the young guys, but some of the older veteran guys. And maybe Vaitai's one of those ones that we can find out where he's at right now.
Right. And it's too with this unit. This unit is so good. And look, you guys know I was a big Skoronski guy, or if you're roped into picking at 6, and you have to, and there's not really anything that catches your fancy, you take Skoronski or an offensive lineman, and you kind of reset that rookie clock that you have going on. Even without that, this Lions offensive line unit is so good that they have the freedom to maneuver with the offensive line as Taylor Decker gets older, ... You know what I'm saying? Like, they're in a position where they can do a lot of things. And they're in a position where certainly Penei is the nucleus of everything that is going to happen. But, D-Mac, they have such balance and such a depth of high-end talent that really, and this is big, D-Mac, and we talk about this with Yzerman, we talk about this with Brad Holmes. The flexibility, to me, is as important as anything else. You're flexible because of cap space, contracts you have on hand, depth of talent that you have. Now, that might be something that's what Yzerman is still in the process, as they would say over on your side of the border. He's still in the process of gathering right now, is that depth of talent that goes across the board. But the Lions' offensive line is as deep as any of those units that they put up there on that screen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But they've made it a priority. They knew that, right? They came out, and when Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell was building this team, that was the priority, and it was set in stone when they drafted Penei Sewell.
Yeah, no question about that. WoodwardSports.com chat poll, is Penei Sewell a future Hall of Famer? 91% of the people say yes. So there you go, Sam Flannel. You know our polls, there's a 10% accuracy disparity, so that's essentially 100%.
No, I think there's usually about a 20% bump to anything Neal says versus anything I say. But anywho, I do think Penei Sewell is going to be great, and I think he's trending towards Hall of Fame. I'm just saying, I think you're overrating him a tad right now.
Lions secondary getting a lot of love. Let me see first. From where we were.
Oh, it's not as good as the offensive line.
Yeah, from where we were. Let me see first. Let's see, and you got to give them a minute too.
By osmosis, it's going to be better.
Well, no doubt. But I'm saying you got to give them a minute
to gel, and maybe that's what they're working on now. And let me tell you this, a little behind the scenes when it comes to, OTAs are working out in the summertime. When guys are excited, they want to get together. Like for us in the summertime, when we get back together, it'd be you go work out. Skate, whatever, during the morning. By 1 o'clock, you'd be on the golf course with the guys, getting ready, and that's that camaraderie. So I feel that especially coming out of in all the different units, but especially coming out of the secondary, because there's some guys here that want to prove and want to turn this secondary into an elite unit. Right, and have something to prove, and have bags to go get, Neal. Right,
and that's
bunch of bag men on the back end. So go out there and earn those bags.
Yeah, and you
guys on 1-year contracts, and that's perfect.
And you mentioned it too. Guys are excited. You know what gets me excited? Cousins Maine Lobster gets me excited.
Absolutely, and I get to read the read today because it's a special day for me. Woodward Sports is brought to you by Cousins Maine Lobster Detroit. Check out their food trucks rolling around the city, offering the tastiest lobster rolls, lobster tacos, and more. Go to cousinsmainelobster.com and search locations to find the Detroit schedule, or download the app to order ahead and earn points. It's Cousins Maine Lobster.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Off and running here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, BMG, Big Mike Gentry in the stead of Spenmo Rax. All of you in the woodwardsports.com chat thread, make sure you subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast. Leave it that 5-star review. Clicked on that this morning while I was toiling away on the treadmill at Planet Fitness, our official studio sponsor here at Woodward Sports. And you guys are doing a good job of subscribing and rating and everything. So we appreciate that. Tap in and do that for us. woodwardsports.com chat thread. Hoof-Hearted says, Sam is such a Sewell hater. Stop meat riding Tristan Wirfs.
I'm not. Stop it.
I know, that's me. I meat ride Michigan State, I was told.
I don't think I meat ride Tristan Wirfs or
Who
you
do you meat ride, Sam?
Probably Patrick Mahomes. LeBron. Those two. For sure. Proud of it.
BMG, who do you meat ride?
No one. I don't know. I'm not admitting to anything. My favorite player in basketball is Kevin Durant. I guess you could say that. And hockey, Mo Seider. I don't know. That's like the only two players I would meat ride.
I'm glad you brought up Mo Seider because we didn't get a chance to do it with DMAC yesterday, and I'm glad you're here. I'm excited that it worked out this way. So now I have both of you because I'm going to do a little off the sheet dealio at 12:24. I'm going to make me trade you Austin Matthews. We're going to role play here.
Oh, God.
I'm going to make me trade him to you.
Make me trade you.
Yep.
Hey, and I meet ride Eiserman, of course. I mean, duh. Like, that's what I say. I do something in my comedy bit where it's like you have to realize that everyone in this lifetime that has nothing to do with marriage will be somebody's bitch. Whose bitch are you? Now, so I'm Steve Eisman's bitch. I meet ride him. Hashtag Eisenpan 1919. Life's good. Life's good. He's going to bring it. All right, I got an hour to think about what I would give up. You're going to make me.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll play the role of the Toronto GM, and I'm going to make and you guys know, man, there will be no bullshit. Like you have to convince me to do it. And I won't be unrealistic about it. I have reasons. I have examples laid out. I'm not taking less than for a Hart Trophy finalist.
Yeah, but I don't. You know what?
I'm not taking less than for the second best center in the game.
I got some counters.
Okay, and you guys aren't the only ones that want him. Remember that. So,
oh man, it's gonna be fun.
I'm not dicking around with you guys.
It's gonna be fun. I don't personally know. I'm gonna have to within this next hour try and come up with something because it's going to be tough.
Let's go Red Wings Sparty. Everybody wants Matthews until we see what we'd have to give up.
So we going to see.
We are going to see.
12:24. We going to see.
We are going to see. So yeah, there is
a segue.
There is that 12:24. So make sure you stick around for that. Had another Lions thing though, and I was thinking about this and was talking with Spenny about it. When you size up their schedule, much has been made of the Detroit Lions schedule. Given everything that's on the line and the Stoke not scared and all of it, everything that's affiliated with it, how important is it for them to get off to a good start, DMAC? Now, they did show us last year. Now, I did end up being right, but it was close. I said, once you're 1-6, you're dead, which turns out they were.
Yeah, you can't. You can't get off to the starts you did the last 2 years.
No
now
doubt.
It doesn't. Now, listen, you're going into the heart of the fire
right away.
out of the rip. So I think you got to look at it as after after 6 games, you want to be 4-2, or at worst 3-3, but 4-2 if you're going to make some noise, right? I can understand how you can lose. You're sort of expected to lose in Kansas City, but it's they got to get clicking, so to speak, Neal, right? A lot sooner. And I think they will be, right? They're going to take what they did at the end of last year, the guys that were here, and they're going to add it to the new guys, and it's going to be exciting. So I think it's more over the first, third of the year, first 6 games. You want to come out of there 4-2, then you're in good shape. It's not about starting out 0-1, but it's righting the ship right away. Yeah, you can't come out 1-4. You just can't. You can't put yourself behind the 8 ball. You've done that for 2 straight seasons. That's part of growth.
Yeah, but it comes to me where, all right, the path, right, D-Mac? Like we can all talk in generalities and stuff like that, but okay, let's talk about the tires on the road. Let's talk about the route to where they want to be. And I'm not saying go game by game here. I am talking more philosophically, but it's grounded in reality.
Right.
You're at Kansas City, you're home against Seattle, you have to be 1-1.
Yes. Agreed.
Have to. Like, you get a bit of a breather. But for me, because Atlanta, I think that Atlanta's going to win that division. I honestly believe that. And the more people, and I know what everyone will say, they're not going to do it. Desmond Ritter's trash. We always hear that about everybody, and then they're in there competing to win the division. You know what I'm saying? Like, they took a jump. I know that we didn't notice it here, but Atlanta, they were supposed to be dead last year on the side of the road. And they just kept battling. They kept hanging around. They kept doing all that. So Atlanta's going to be better, I think, than anybody in this WoodwardSports.com chat thread, anybody in this building thinks that they're going to be. You still should win the football game, though. Like, let's cut the ish on that. And then at Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
If you're going to be this dominant team, right, then the expectations, you're not out of line to think you should be 3-1, right? At worst 2-2, right? But if you're going to be this team, and that's where things you have to show me that has changed. I believe you're going to play for the coach. I believe that there's more talent there. But can you get it to click earlier in the season? Because that's what's missed in the last 2 seasons. You've put yourself behind the 8 ball big time, and you can't do that in this league, especially when you're expected to win the North.
And that's what it is. Like, and we're gonna do this next segment where there's been a big like quarterback list going around, like top 10 quarterbacks, where everybody's kind of upset because of who's on there, who's not on there. I'm gonna kind of merge that with quarterbacks that have the most pressure on them. And D-Mac, I think we want it both ways.
We always do.
I think we want it both ways, right? Where, because you're right. You have to start well. You have to. Because of all those reasons. Because of what's on the line. Because of what the expectations are. Because of the additions to the team. Because of the new talent that's been brought in. All those things are reasons why. Which is why there's pressure on some folks.
You know what we need? We need not to make a coaching change to change the season around. We got to have that made before the season, and they come in cooking. We know that this team will gain momentum, right? What do they show? That they can play the second half of the season, and they can play it well once they get into it. So now they have to prove. So they're a stretch runner. Now they got to prove that they can stay in the race at the beginning of the season. And that's why you said coming back, being 1-1, looking to be 3-1. Am I gonna throw in the towel if we're 2-2? No. But that's at the minimum, right? You got to start taking care of games. You got to dominate. You got to go. Your expectations after what you did in Green Bay last year, and without Aaron Rodgers and whatever's going on there, is to go in there and win. That's a W, right? It's not going to be easy, but this is the expectations you have on this football club here for this 2023 season.
Yeah, and it is. It's that simple. And there are expectations. And if those expectations aren't met, then there will be some issues. Like, fans will have issues. I'm telling everybody now, we will have an issue. I will have an issue. Lions fans will have an issue. They just will. All the talk time is over. That's going to be my overriding message.
Yeah.
Like, I'm on board. I'm slapping it up. I'm making Penei Sewell's gold jacket right now. Aiden Hutchinson has the ceiling to be a dominant defensive player. in the National Football League. He has that ceiling. Now it's time for the expectations. And look, there's been no bigger Jared Goff supporter, I don't think, in this town, certainly at this network, than me. And I've given you the reasons why, return on investment and all that kind of stuff. When these games kick off, man, like, it's time to perform. It isn't cute. Yeah, show Rick Ross. It isn't cute anymore. It's real. These expectations are real. And now you got to go out there and do it.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing that you feel like you got a real team and real men and real guys playing for it and guys that want to be there and play for their coach and do everything like that. So it's exciting. Stoked, not scared, baby. Stoked, not scared.
Steve Wild says, and I don't want it to turn into this, which is probably why I shouldn't read this comment, but whatever, I will, because it kind of disparages Sam, but I don't think it does, because I think, Sam's not as young as you think he is, number one. That is number one. Sam represents youth today. Oh, I'll Google a stat, use that as absolutism for my knowledge of sports. It's idiocy. Sam, that is in Flannel's playbook, no doubt about it. I understand that. But Sam is not a spokesman for the youth of today. Would you agree with that, Sam Flannel?
I would agree with that. I am 31 years old. Despite what people might think, I am quite a bit older than a lot of the young people at this network. And just for the record, I think it's idiocy to completely discount numbers. Just for the record. Numbers are things that you can quantify. That's why I use them. That's how I make arguments. I know you don't like it because I'm a little bit of a nerd, but still, you can't argue with my numbers.
Well, Chuck says, to be fair, and this is a fair comment, D-Mac, this is where we're in a space where we can grow. Chuck says, and he qualifies it, he says, to be fair, which means you can then say whatever you want, and then you can't get mad at it. To be fair, Sam leans too heavy on stats at times. I would agree with that.
Is that with all due respect?
That was with all due respect. To be fair is the new with all due respect.
Yeah.
Can we agree on that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. I think we can all agree on it. There's another thing we can all agree on. Strawberry Fest at Big D-Mac alters his britches when we talk about Strawberry Fest. Hey, you can try the classic breakfast items like the strawberry hotcakes or the mouth-watering red velvet waffle. D-Mac will. If you're not a breakfast person, which I am not, I'll do the strawberry bacon chicken wrap. I have. It's good. Or you can get the refreshing summer splash salad. Now that D-Mac's got that red velvet waffle and strawberry waffles down, he's going to step in here and get at dessert. The OG of Strawberry Fest. The classic strawberry pie.
Yes.
D-Mac will get that. D-Mac will then chase that with deep-fried vanilla Oreos.
No.
He will, and then he'll finish it off with strawberry hot fudge cake.
Hat trick.
All that in one sitting. One meal at Strawberry Fest. Get to your local big boy today for Strawberry Fest. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you, all of you in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread as well. And this has come to my attention. Now, I noticed it last night, just bumping around Twitter, which I didn't quite understand the timing of it. But I'm seeing it more and more. I got a text from my mom. So, yes. She is not immune. She is not immune to the wrath because it's about to happen. This is about to go down. We had this whole thing lined up where, there were all these Lions topics that we wanted to cover, but instead, I'm seeing it on social media. I'm seeing it in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Right now, Steven Syrett, Neal, we need to have a talk about Miggy hurting this current team. No blasphemy. The 2023 Detroit Tigers. Okay, let's have that discussion then, everybody. Let's settle in for it because my stance hasn't changed. I will give you some numbers, if we will. All right? Then let's do it. Tweets on Twitter. My mom sent me this and said, it's my mom, so I want to make sure I get it right. She said, no shade, but truth, and sent me that tweet right there that says, bring the heat, I can take it. Miggy's hitting 173. And contrary to far too many Tigers fans, I think the Tigers can compete for the weak AL Central Division title. What are we doing? Pay this man his money and ask him to go on the injured reserve or retire. Steven Syret said it too. Then let's discuss it then, shall we? Because let me tell you this, guys. With this lineup yesterday, they faced a 31-year-old pitcher that made his 7th start in his career. And what did he do? Struck out more than half the batters he faced. And yes, that includes, and people want to come at Miggy. I'll tell you guys this, who actually did have a hit last night. I'll tell you guys this. And this isn't blasphemy, D-Mac. You mark me on this. If the Detroit Tigers were in a game right now and it was the bottom of the 9th and the bases loaded were tied and there were 2 out, there are not many guys in this lineup right now that I would rather have hitting than, yes, Miguel Cabrera, because I would still trust him to get a hit more than, I don't know, your rookie savior, Spencer Torkelson, whose on-base percentage starts with a 2, is in the 2s. And if I got to hear one more time about how hot Javi Baez is, and then you look down and his on-base percentage is in the 200s too, take a look at this. Take a look at it. Is Miggy so out of place in this lineup? Is he? Because his numbers look comparable. Your home run leader, Nick Maton, is hitting 160. And I stick up for him because he's actually had an impactful 160, if there is such a thing. There will be no Miggy slander, D-Mac. I'm sorry I'm taking up all the time here. No. There will be none, because if the game was on the line right now, I still want Miguel Cabrera in the batter's box to get a hit. To hit a home run? Maybe not. But to get a hit? Yes. D-Mac, I'm tired of it. People around here talking like they have the 1927 Yankees, and then there's Miguel Cabrera hitting 160. This 31-year-old guy struck out half the guys he faced.
Here's the question. Okay, who's replacing him? Nobody.
Jesus,
Nobody's replacing him. And to the fact that I said this yesterday, to have Miguel Cabrera on the bench. Now, do you not think that A.J. Hinch is spotting him as DH and how he's using him is perfect with everything else? It's not like you're holding somebody back, somebody that's going to come in here and tear the cover off the ball. It's part of the team. I agree with you, Neal, till the end of the season or whatever else, that there's a reason that he's there. Maybe he's helping with the younger guys, but he's earned sort of this. Now, does it take away? Like, what are we really arguing about? You're going to have to pay him his money anyways.
He's so the same as everybody else.
And I don't care what it is, how old, or when he steps into the batter's box against no matter what pitcher it is, it's still Miguel Cabrera. Right? It's still Miguel Cabrera. So, I don't know, like, I agree with you to the fact that, like, why are we even talking about this?
That's
he's
my
not
point.
The problem. He's not playing every day and, like, he's spotting in here and there and he's producing like everybody else.
Dominator said if the Tigers could have hit, they would have won easily. So many runners in scoring position opportunities missed. Exactly. Well, Miggy had a hit yesterday. Miggy actually got a base hit. Unlike half the batters that struck out that faced a 31-year-old pitcher making his 7th start in his career. Like you guys act like this lineup is the 27 Yankees. I'm told every day about how hot Javi is. Let Javi cook. On base percentage in the 280s. Jack Stark says 175 is a new 300, Neal. Yes. On this team it is. Right? Like, come on, guys.
And there's some people like Andrew Alice Swang. I've never seen you. Thanks for joining in. I was at the Tigers game Sunday, and he did not play, and I was disappointed. Right? There's some of us that, like, don't you want to see one of the greatest, have the opportunity to see one of the greatest players to play? Like, you're not locked in. So what if you win the division? You're not a World Series caliber team. Did you see did you see that stat on the run differential in the divisions? The AL East is plus 230. The AL Central is minus 160. That's the division you play in. You're not going anywhere even if you do win. And my question still is, who's replacing them? It's not like you got some blue chipper coming up that's tearing off the ball and you're holding them back.
No, your number 1 overall pick has an on-base percentage in the 200s.
And he's playing first base too.
like that I was told was gonna spur
Are
the
there
playoff
bigger
movement
issues
last
on this
year.
team than Miguel Cabrera? 'Cause you know
100%.
exactly.
100%.
So let's,
There are
why don't
many
we
of them.
focus on more than Miguel. Cabrera's Cabrera. He is what you expect him to be. You hope he can come off the bench and get a pinch hit for posterity's sakes every now and then.
And look, Brandon Katz, like, again, you're a value member of the community. You are. Don't let other people tell you different. You are. But you're coming from an incorrect place when you say you can't win paying a garbage player $30 million a year. Number one, Javi Baez only makes 25. So that's number one. But number two, Brandon, I get where you're going with this. Your owner made it this way. I don't know how many times I got to tell the people. D-Mac, you listen. I know you listen.
I do.
Because later on down the road, I see you point to it and everything like that.
Yeah.
Sam Flannel, I think you know where I'm going to go with this, right?
But he doesn't listen.
The reason that Miguel Cabrera is making this money at this age is because your owner wanted to skirt the luxury tax. That's why these contracts are like this,
and
guys.
extended it out along the way.
You add 4. It's basically the dummy year on an NFL contract. I don't know how many times I got to explain this, but I'll keep doing it. I got broad shoulders. I can do it. Sam Flannel, do you understand the concept of what I'm saying? All these contracts go till they're 40. They know they're not going to be good at 40. But they don't want to pay the luxury tax now.
I understand that, but I don't think we expected him to fall off a cliff at 34, just for the record. And for the record, too, I cannot believe that you're actually defending Miguel Cabrera this season, putting him on the same field as Spencer Torkelson and Javi Baez. Miguel Cabrera's on-base percentage is .244.
Yeah, in the twos, just like everybody else on the team.
Miguel Cabrera right now is the worst position player in the MLB. I think Big Mike Gentry could hit a baseball farther than him now. I'm dead serious. I don't think he can hit the baseball 300 feet at this point. He will finish this season with 0 home runs. Factual.
Hey, do we not agree that there's bigger issues here? Wouldn't you rather see Jonathan Scope? Because he's actually
Scope is a hell of a lot better than Cabrera right now.
Then Miguel, that's just black. Like you're at a time that we can agree that he's past his prime in Cabrera or whatever like this, but still, he's got more talent sitting on the bench, not using it than most of the guys in the lineup and the production.
And you want it, Flannel? You want it then you can have this. You know why he's still here right now? You know why he's here?
Why?
Because it's a business, Flannel.
Okay.
And it's a business both ways. It's a business for Cabrera, and it's a business for the Tigers organization. Because guess what they're going to get in September? Guess what they're going to get? 30,000 people to come to the game for the Miguel Cabrera goodbye. That's why he's still here. Just like that's why he's making the money now, because they didn't want to pay the luxury tax. Don't be stupid, Sam Flannel.
No, that's
all right?
fine.
And for the people that don't understand it, I guess I can't help you. I can only explain it to you. If you choose not to grasp it or don't want to understand it, then I can't help you anymore. That's why he's here, Flannel.
That's fine. But can we all agree that it has been a horrific contract, even if that's how it had to be? It's been a horrific contract.
No,
Stop it!
It's market value, Flannel.
Oh my God.
It's market value.
When he signed that 2014, he's had 2-3 good years ever since he signed it. He sucked at baseball for 7 years. Facts. Look at it. He fell off a cliff. He got out of shape.
That was the cost of having a generationally great player. That's the cost. Yes,
a long ass
it
time
was.
ago.
It was like when they signed the deal. That was the cost. Flannel.
You had to have known that at the end of the deal right now you'd be sitting right
here. That's that, D-Mac. That is it.
He's the worst 40-year baseball player. He's the worst player in the
position. Everybody's in this position except the Mets, who decided to pay Bobby Bonilla to this day $1 million a year. That's the whole thing. You were always, you push it down the road. Well, holy cow. You were always going to be here, and how many other teams are always here? Did we not just see this sort of with the Albert Pujols, even though he produced a little bit more at the end?
Albert Pujols had a phenomenal last year. Miguel Cabrera is having an on-base percentage of .244 with 0 home runs, 4 RBIs.
Yeah.
He's the worst player in the MLB.
30 points behind your $150 million contract shortstop, and 30 points behind your number 1 overall pick that you were counting on in a rookie parlay to get to the playoffs last year.
And I'm not one
Don't act like there's a stratosphere between the two guys.
Yeah, there is right now. Absolutely there is.
Flannel, 72% of the time that Spencer Torkelson goes into the batter's box, he walks back to the dugout. Guess what? 75% of the time Miggy does.
I'm not a person to defend.
No, that's it. That's it. That's all.
That is not it. That's all.
Yes, it is.
Spencer Torkelson has 4 home runs, 21
RBIs.
RBIs. Javier Baez has 3 home runs, 23 RBIs.
Flannel.
You can't argue math. Spencer Torkelson has 4
when
home runs,
Miguel
21
Cabrera
RBIs.
goes up to bat and Spencer Torkelson goes up to bat, they roughly walk back to the dugout after the at-bat's over at the same
You talk
clip.
about Nick Maton like he
Roughly.
has had an impactful, like the impact is completely different. Spencer Torkelson, 4 home runs, 21 RBIs. Javier Baez, 3 home runs, 23. Miguel Cabrera, 0 home runs, 4 RBIs. It's completely different.
So here's the thing, and Ray brings up a great quote. Miguel Cabrera's not hit under 250 or had no on-base percentage under 300 in a season in his career. Does he not deserve the opportunity to maybe fight his way out of it or whatever? We are talking about Miguel Cabrera.
An MVP, a Triple Crown winner, he gets to ride off the way he wants to ride
Miguel
off.
Cabrera's
10 years
0 for
ago.
1,000 and he stands in the batter's box with the bases loaded, it's on the pitcher's mind. I don't care
stop
what it is.
Not now.
Oh, not now. Bullshit.
Stop it.
Bullshit. Like, how can you not?
I know. I agree with you. Because I saw him get a hit again last night.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying?
He's still the worst player in the MLB.
Ooh,
The
I
worst player in
I
the
saw
MLB.
the savior. I saw the savior who gets on base 28% of the time.
I don't like
strikeout,
God.
strikeout. I saw it against a 31-year-old pitcher making his 7th start ever.
And
I
that's
saw
fair.
it. Flannel. No, you act like there's this mountain of difference
Right
between
now
the
there
two.
is.
If Cabrera's bad this year, okay, yeah, we can say he's bad. Everybody else in the lineup's bad too.
Not as bad. Miguel Cabrera is
They're
13th.
roughly the same.
He's 13th
Flannel.
on the team in on-base percentage. That's facts.
Dispute this. They roughly walk back to the dugout after they're at bat at roughly the same clip. Dispute that.
I will dispute that. 244 is different than like 295. That's different. That's very different. And home runs included, extra base hits, RBIs, which Miguel Cabrera does none of. He's the worst player in Major League Baseball right now. Dispute that. I know you guys are all going to hate me.
Spencer Torkelson's far and away the worst #1 overall player in the game of baseball right now. Who was, and look,
And you know what?
Miggy
But
was
it
never the
hasn't
worst
Miggy
player in
earned this.
baseball last year. Because Torque was till June.
That's actually true. That's
Exactly.
True. That's true. All things can be true.
So they should have cut Torque last year then, huh?
He's a rookie.
Sam logic.
Oh
By
my
your
God.
logic, they should have cut him, right? He's
You're
the worst player
such
in
an
Major League Baseball.
absolutist. It's ridiculous. There's so much gray area to this. I just can't believe that you guys cape for Miguel Cabrera's historically horrific season. It's a joke.
People want to know why you meat ride Spencer Torkelson.
I don't meet right Spencer Torkelson.
I didn't say that. The chat said that. I'm sorry I had to hijack the show there. It's just I'm tired of hearing that. If you had guys in here, go look at the Rays lineup. If it were the Rays lineup and Miggy's out there, then maybe you'll have a case. But
Yes.
guess what?
Yes.
You say Miggy's shitty,
Exactly.
they're all shitty.
Yes.
Stop there.
According to Matt.
He's the shittiest of them all.
And Miguel Cabrera, whether you like it or not, no matter what he hits, still sells tickets.
I'll go this year. I'll go this year to a game strictly because of Miguel Cabrera.
And we all will, because you know what it is? He's sort of earned it.
100%. What about Swiss Insurance? They earn it.
Absolutely. Like
Wanna
our
pay
draft
your
picks.
premium, Sam.
Did the GM do his job? Be a boss and take control of your insurance options. Draft a company that will give you the most cost-effective plan and protect you like the best O-line in the league. Email Swiss Insurance today at mark@swissins.com or go to their website. That's just swissins.com.
By now you know me, Christina Schnari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, BMG, Big Mike Gentry. Subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast. Rate it 5 stars if you would be so kind as well. You guys are doing a great job of that. Thank you for that. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel as well. And make sure you follow Woodward Sports on all the social media platforms. Reaction to the Miguel Cabrera discussion. And it boiled over on me. I've had enough. I've had enough. Big E says Miggy's the only one that's earned the right to even be bad in this lineup. And I would agree with that. And Chili Damon says, so compound it by playing the bad guy. Well, Chili, which bad guy are you talking about? Which sub 300 on base percentage guy are you talking about? The number 1 overall pick? The $150 million shortstop? Which one are you talking about, Chili? See, I can't even keep track. That's my problem. People want to get on Miggy about this. How about you get on your number 1 pick? Or your $150 million shortstop whose on base percentage is in the 2s as well. They skate off. Instead, I got to hear, oh, Baez is so hot. El Mago. Center your angst on them. Not the greatest Tiger that's ever played for the Tigers. Sorry, D-Mac.
No, you're good. You're good.
Who is around the same as the rest of them.
I liked what, who said it? Motown Cool. Tigers are pointless, so he fits. You nailed it. Like, whose spot is he taking? Like, he's not taken away. They're all garbage in a garbage league. It just so happens that they're playing hard together and figuring it out. So who cares? In my opinion, he's earned this. And this, you know what, Neal? The problem is when he signed the contract back in 2014. Most people weren't looking to the end of the contract.
They knew.
But you and I were, and knowing that this was going to happen. Does this not happen more in baseball than anywhere else? So right now, it's all financial. It's all what can we get back with what ticket sales are going to be, having Miggy night and whatever like this, and maybe we can put him in the lineup and he can show flashes of brilliance.
Right. And I made the point to it. Brandon says, many people in the media like Neal ignored how horrible Cabrera was when Avila was blamed for all of Detroit's problems. Name a good draft pick. He had hundreds of draft picks. Name a good trade he made, Brandon. So, yeah, I'm going to blame Al Avila for that. That's stupidity, bro. That's stupidity. John Lord wants to know, Flannel, so is Miggy a legend or no?
Absolutely. 100%.
Okay.
Come on.
Just wanted to make sure. So, yeah, that's what it is for me. I'd had enough and it boiled over and I couldn't take it anymore. If you remove the name Cabrera and it said Smith, you wouldn't even notice him. He'd just be another guy in the Tigers lineup with a sub 300 on base percentage.
That's a little too far.
Huh?
That's a little too far.
What do you mean? No, it would be the same.
0 home runs, 4 RBIs, 244 on base percentage.
Yes, it has as many home runs as Austin Meadows.
Well, we're not talking about Austin Meadows.
So, it's all there for you. All of it. Jack Harrington says Neal nailed it. Well, I appreciate it. Dada says, oh, yeah, what about that shortstop? Again, like, you would think he's A-Rod in the early 2000s.
No, he sucks too. Got to get that on-base percentage above the 3s.
I keep hearing about how Almago is back.
Nope. As long as your on-base percentage
so
starts with the 2.
why are they skating on this?
I don't know if they're skating.
Why does Baez get a free pass? And why does Miggy get the ire of the people?
I mean, I agree with your analysis on that. Spencer Torkelson and Javier Baez both having on-base percentages in the 2s, it doesn't get talked about enough. And that makes you automatically, to me, a below replacement level baseball player if you have an on-base percentage in the 2s. Get it up there. Take a walk once in a while. Come on.
So, I don't know, D-Mac. I don't get it. Maybe people have written off Baez already. I don't know, but we got a lot of time for them. There's a lot of baseball left to be played. I also got a text from my mother who says I'm grounded now. So there's that as well. I'm sure that will make.
She's going over to unplug the air conditioner in the second furnace.
Walter Briggs, who's giving Baez a pass? Everyone needs to hit better. Well, Walter, seems like Miggy's the one that gets talked about all the time. How Miggy shouldn't be in the lineup. Just what I'm noticing. So sorry. Again, guys, I'm sorry that it went that way. And sorry that it took over like that for a minute. So my apologies to everybody. We'll get back to the Lions stuff, everybody. We will. But 12:24, we got a good Red Wing segment coming up. We have a good Lions segment coming up. Speaking of making the rounds around social media, I saw this yesterday a lot, D-Mac. People, all of a sudden, everybody came loose with their top 10 quarterback list. That was, you woke up and boom, it was everywhere. We had this from Pro Football Focus, the top 10 quarterbacks in the National Football League. This one seemed to draw the arrows, slings and arrows from everybody. And, Patrick Mahomes at 1, obviously, he's the best quarterback in the game. He's the closest thing we've seen to Tom Brady since Tom Brady. Josh Allen, number 2. I don't value Josh Allen the same way that everybody else does, but him not getting over the hump has a lot to do. He's got to do it at some point. Joe Burrow at 3. Justin Herbert. I think you guys overvalue Justin Herbert. A 500 quarterback is on that list, but whatever. We'll discuss that later. Aaron Rodgers at 5. And D-Mac, I noticed this when you talk about top 10 quarterback list. People came to me right away and on social media and said, well, Neal, Goff's not on there. Your thoughts? And I looked at the list and I said, you know what I'm more offended by? I'm offended that Aaron Rodgers is 5th on that list. You want to talk about Miguel Cabrera? Okay, let's play this game with Aaron Rodgers. Didn't have a 300-yard passing game last year.
Oh, so Miguel Cabrera's this season and Aaron Rodgers' last season is the same thing. Stop it, Neal.
At all.
That's fair.
Well, I never said Miggy's the 5th best first baseman in the game either.
That's true.
D-Mac, we're already seeing it.
Yeah.
The New York effect, we're already seeing it, aren't we?
No, that's exactly it. But the stats, like Aaron Rodgers is that possession quarterback. I mean, system quarterback now, not the gunslinger as much because he hasn't slung the gun. If I looked at that, my list goes Mahomes, Burrows. I put Hurts. We talked about him earlier, but he's proven enough to me to move up to number 3. Allen, Lawrence, Herbert, Jackson, and I put Goff in front of Rodgers, Prescott, and Cousins. Right, that's where I put Jared Goff, and I think he, a little disrespectful to not have him at least in front of Kirk Cousins or Dak Prescott, but that's just, my belief in him. I believe he's a top 10 guy.
Yeah, and
on this team, and then Rodgers. If you're going by stats and what he's done, that is the New York effect, just as much as like. Root for radio, man. It's only gonna get better and better and better and better when it doesn't work out. And with that,
we are to the point too. Like with these things, I almost feel bad. Like I'm doing a disservice to the audience, right? That I'm kind of pushing the easy button or stuff like that. But for me, it was the list was laughable. And look, I value Jared Goff more than most. And I know people like Sam Flannel will just jump right in the statistical waters and move out. For me, it's deeper than that. It's the economic value he provides based on his salary when you look around the room at what other people are making. That's one of the biggest reasons for me. He was a top 3 quarterback in the NFC. Is that fair, Sam Flannel?
Yes, I would say 2.
Okay, top 3 quarterback in the NFC last year. People are lit about the Rodgers thing, too. They said Rodgers over Hurts is laughable. Aaron Tackett says Kirk Cousins is mid AF. That is what we're programmed to think. His numbers were actually pretty good last year for him. You know what I'm saying? But we've seen his act all the time before, right? So we pretty much know what he is. I don't know, D-Mac. I think Goff should be on the list. You start putting the turnover factory, Rain Dakota, Prescott up there at number 10. I think Trevor Lawrence is being a little bit overvalued. I need to see it for a full season from him. I think Jalen Hurts is undervalued on that list, and Lamar's about right where he should be. Goff at 9. Would anybody be offended if I took out Cousins and put Goff there?
No,
absolutely
no.
not.
He's sort of earned that, hasn't he?
I would agree. I would put him above Lawrence right here, right now, versus on resume.
You know what? Trevor Lawrence proved a lot to me in the playoffs last year, right? It's making that next step, but I think he's going to make a bigger step this year. Well, I think this year Trevor Lawrence makes that step that Justin Herbert can't make.
Well, he's got to show me in the playoffs that he can beat a quarterback other than Justin Herbert. Half the time Herbert plays, he loses. So
right.
You don't get extra points from me for beating Justin Herbert.
Justin Kirk Cousins, the 1 o'clock warrior. Yeah, this was the whole overall schedule games 1, 4, and 8 o'clock. If you did the 1 o'clock game, Kirk Cousins is number 2 next to Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't lose in 1 o'clock games.
Are Goff and DNCNT, Goff and Kirk are interchangeable?
Absolutely not.
I agree with that
not.
statement, Sam Flannel.
No, and we talked about your economics when it comes to Goff, and I've actually got some numbers when it comes to Goff versus Kirk Cousins, at least what they did last year. So Goff and Cousins both threw for 29 touchdown passes. Dak threw for 23. Goff and Cousins.
Who threw for 23?
Rain Dakota.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My
okay.
bad.
I didn't recognize that name you said.
Blame it on the rain.
Apologies.
Dakota Prescott.
And we said, I mentioned that Cousins and Goff both threw for 29 touchdown passes last year. Goff threw for 7 interceptions. Cousins threw for 14. And Jared Goff had a higher passer rating and a higher QBR than Jared Goff Goff had a higher QBR and passer rating than Cousins last year. So by the numbers, Jared Goff was the best out of those 3, and he should slide in ahead of both of them at number 9. That's what I would say.
Okay. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Brandon says Herbert has a record for the most touchdown passes the first 3 years in the NFL. That's cool. He loses half the games he plays.
He's actually, Brandon, I love where your head's at. He's actually second to Dan Marino. Big shame in that, by the way. Being second to the guy
what's the narrative on Dan Marino?
Are you saying it's his fault?
No, I'm saying what's the narrative?
The narrative on Dan Marino is that he is one of the best quarterbacks ever who never won a Super Bowl. Definitely the best quarterback who never won a Super Bowl. That's fine. And it was all his fault.
Him or Warren Moon, yeah.
Dude, don't even mention Warren Moon and Dan Marino in the same
Look at
sentence.
those numbers. You want to see numbers? I know you're a big numbers guy. Go look at Warren Moon's numbers.
Warren Moon is a Hall of Fame quarterback. Dan Marino had 48 touchdown passes in his second season, breaking the record that was previously 36. No Dan Marino slander. Maybe the fact that in his late 20s, early 30s, he tapered off quite a bit. But early Dan Marino was electric.
Okay. All right. Oh, wow. We blew past the break there. My apologies to everybody. Planet Fitness. We are home here at the Planet Fitness Studios. You guys already know what it is. $1 down, $10 a month, access to your home club. You want to be a baller and a shot caller? The Black Card is out there. That's how I roll. $24.99 per month. You basically own Planet Fitness. You get access to over 2,400 of them in the world. There's over 50 in the Metro Detroit area alone. Right there, guys. Comes in handy whenever we're doing shows from a remote location. There's always a Planet Fitness nearby. You get the hydro massage, the tanning, all of it. That all falls under the Black Card membership umbrella. Tons of equipment. If you got some idiot on there that's running 6 miles and's on the treadmill for over an hour, guess what? Doesn't matter. There's an army of treadmills out there. You just get on one, do your things. You want to lift some weights? No problem. Tons of weight equipment. You're never waiting for anything, guys. It's got everything you need. Some of you are out there paying $50, $60, $70 a month because the gym has a rock wall. All right? Planet Fitness, everything you need. They're everywhere you go, all of it. Don't forget to Planet Fitness, allowing the high schoolers ages 14 to 19 to work out for free all summer long from May 15th through August 31st. Go to planetfitness.com for more information, or just pull in the parking lot. You can join there. It's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Back at it. My favorite bumper music, by the way. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. I'll have this on a deck on like a Saturday evening. Grab the grill going or something like that, you know. Playing this on the Bluetooth speaker. The baseball game's on mute up there. Fire
nice,
going.
Like
yeah.
that.
It's a yeah. Yeah, it's a little vibe up there.
It's a little
You see?
helps the rotation of the bourbon.
There you go. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, BMG, Big Mike Gentry here in the building. Happy to have you all along for the ride, the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. I got a little side piece to that top 10 quarterback list that's going in. And there it is, the top 10 quarterbacks according to Pro Football Focus. So here's a little spin-off question I have. I want to go around the room on this. D-Mac, you see the top 10 quarterbacks. What quarterback has the most pressure on him next year? You got Lamar's deal.
No, in my mind, and I gotta narrow it down to two guys in my view, but I'm gonna go Josh Allen is number one to me, just because
that's an on-brand answer by you.
It's on brand, but it's just because they got to get over the hump. They got to
win.
It was either him or Justin Herbert to win the games, because you look
nice.
You look at what Brandon Staley and you look at what the Chargers have done and put everything into this arsenal, and he has the talent. So it's like, to me, he's a cheat, and the numbers are great except for the win-loss that he just can't get over the hump. I believe he's got the talent to do it, and this is a year. But the time's running out for Herbert. But Josh Allen, it's the same sort of thing with the Chargers and with the Bills to me, and their quarterbacks, right? Like Mahomes, Burrows, you know what you're gonna get with that. Even Lamar's happy. Lamar's going to cook. It's what do they surround him with? So to me, on-brand answers Josh Allen, but is this the year for Justin Herbert? And so to me, it's the AFC, right? I don't like
and
Dax.
It's a gauntlet.
I don't like and other than that, my guy, other than Goff, that's the one I'm going to pay attention to, is just to be. He's just got to manage and do what he does, because he is a game manager, and I like that because he's cerebral like that. So. My one answer would be Josh Allen, on brand.
Flannel, what do you got?
All right, so a lot of people are going to get mad at me for this, but
for this,
yes, you know who is actually under quite a bit of pressure this year, even if nobody will give it to him. None other than Joe Burrow. Yes, I said Joe Burrow, the man who's Teflon, the man who's already been deemed Joe Cool, even though he has had a very overrated playoff career. 9 touchdown passes in 7 playoff games, never thrown for 3 touchdown passes in a playoff game, never thrown for 300 yards in a playoff game. This guy, at some point, he needs to cash one in. He's had a couple of opportunities. And I get it. Everyone's talking about Josh Allen and how he needs to cash one in. Remember in 2021 when Josh Allen threw 4 touchdown passes against the Chiefs, including the go-ahead touchdown with 13 seconds left to give him a 3-point lead, and never got the ball again because their defense couldn't hold Patrick Mahomes in 13 seconds, and the Chiefs got it first in overtime and scored a touchdown. And then when Joe Burrow got to play the Chiefs only scored 24. Joe Burrow only led them to 27. And Patrick Mahomes had his one playoff choke job in his career. It is Joe Burrow. He's the second best quarterback in the league. But
you're wrong.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why you're wrong.
Yeah.
Because Joe Burrow, and he said it himself, do you agree that Joe Burrow's window is his career for a Super Bowl?
Yes.
Right? And the fact that they're negotiating and Cincinnati's come out and said, we're going to give him the bag and we're going to work together to whatever, to keep the T. Higgins and to build this around him. There is no pressure, right, other than what Joe Burrow puts on him. Now, the pressure to beat Patrick Mahomes, who is going to be his nemesis over the years in the rivalry, yes. But tell me what bit of pressure that is to perform to get to the next level and to win a Super Bowl. Yeah, but he's done everything else. To me, there's no pressure because the money's there. They built it around him. When he says it as a quarterback, Joe Burrow, what's your window to win a Super Bowl? My whole career. I agree with him. So whether he does it this year or not, it's how they figure out to get it done. That's why I would disagree with you on that one. You come at it different, though, because you toggle the sack of the greatest quarterback out there that everybody has to go through, right? That's your meat rider, is in your Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. So everybody else is lower than that, right? Which is fair because that's your guy. So when you say that to you, everybody else has to prove to you. Joe Burrow is is your greatest adversary to Patrick Mahomes, would you say?
As of right now, yes.
As of right now, right? So that's why you would say the most pressure's on him. But you're looking at it from the top of the castle.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread here on Mark M says, just when I thought Sam couldn't make another bozo comment, he totally redeems himself and makes another bozo comment. And Flannel, look, for Joe Burrow, 3 years in, you got a Super Bowl appearance in the back pocket already. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I get it.
He's got a couple years.
But he has become the guy that you just cannot criticize under any circumstances.
Because he's 3 years in and he's been to this mountain
so
deal.
many other guys to criticize.
He's played in the game's biggest game already.
Yeah, he has. And then one of those
and you just said they lost because they didn't get the ball back in defense, and I think just because you're worried, because it tells me that that's the guy he's worried about the most, to dethrone his championship, to take down his guy.
What about you, BMG? What quarterback's under the most pressure?
I agree with Josh Allen because he finally needs to get over that hump and do something in the playoffs. I lost to the Bengals and Joe Burrow last year, but I would say Lamar Jackson too. He finally got paid. He's been reaching for this money this whole time, and he needed that contract. Now it's time to go play more than 11 games a season, and now it's time to show up in the playoffs and win some. So I would say Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, but there's a few quarterbacks on this list I would agree with.
Yeah, and there is. There's a lot of pressure going around, and I would agree with you too with Lamar Jackson. Not for Lamar. See, the thing with Lamar is, though, like Lamar's always done it his way, and it's worked. And I don't think he really cares. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that affects him. That won't wear on him.
See, to me, it's Lamar's mental space. If Lamar's in a good place in his head and he's happy and it feels like appreciated or wanted, dude, he gives you not that he doesn't if he feels bad, but the fact that he feels loved, that's when he plays his best.
Yeah. Here's an outside the box one. This comes from the WoodwardSports.com chat thread from Chuck. Russell Wilson, if he doesn't rebound, his career's over. And Chuck, that's a great out of the box one. If he's a joke again next year, then that's just what you are.
I thought we already wrote him off.
I did.
No, I mean, he's not even. I saw people put him in a conversation like Deshaun Watson. I'm willing to say that okay, he could come, but no, Russ. I don't. I think Russ. He's off the race.
So he's
gone. I mean, he's not even in the conversation. I think he's cooked.
Okay. All right, D-Mac, I like it. For me, it's got to be Aaron Rodgers because of where he is, what was given up to get him, even though I'm predicting his downfall. I'm stopping one step short of T. Grizzly. I'm not praying on his downfall, but I'm anticipating his downfall.
Fair enough.
And, again, I think he knows, but he doesn't know. Like, he likes sitting at MSG at the Rangers game and getting cheered for on the screen and stuff like that. Rodgers, guess what? When you're 5 games in, you still don't have a 300-yard passing game, and you're 2-3. All that shit goes out the window in New York because there's not going to be 4 local television anchors in the locker room, and that's it. There's going to be hundreds of media people there that are in New York that want to get to the mountaintop of their profession, that are looking to trap you. You know what I mean? It's D-Mac, tell me, bring me inside on that. Are there media out there that try to trap you, D-Mac?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Agenda-driven. So
yeah.
And the fact
now
that
imagine 100 of them.
Right. Instead of sitting around 5, which you can hold accountable, you got 200. And the difference is it's not just, it used to be the press media, whether it was, the TV or the paper and stuff like this. Now everybody's got a show, right?
Yeah, everybody's got
an opinion.
So I would say it's that, even though I anticipate he won't rise to the pressure because, let's be honest, he generally doesn't. So why is he going to change now?
I mean, for the record, he does have a higher playoff touchdown interception ratio than Tom Brady.
Cool. That's cool, Flannel, that he hasn't done it in a decade, man. That's cool.
I'm not saying he's a better playoff player than Tom Brady. I'm just saying there's some context to why he loses some of those games. And
he doesn't rise up and win.
He has a higher career postseason.
He doesn't rise
rating.
up and win. Flannel, I'm a big numbers guy. I'm a big stats guy. I'm a big analytics guy, big financial guy, all of that. But at some point, you got to put your hand in the ground and say, not today. We're not losing today. This is Lambeau Field. I'm Aaron Rodgers. This is the Green Bay Packers. We're not losing today. And then they lose. And then when we come back again next year and do it, you got to say, all right, this not today. And I mean it this time. And they lose again. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just repeats itself. At some point, dude, you got to rise up and say no more.
Well, I've always said that the playoff loss to San Francisco where they scored 10 points and the 49ers got a game-winning punt return, that was horrific. The year before against Tampa, though, I don't put that on Rodgers. I'm just saying he's a better playoff quarterback than he's given credit for. I'm not saying he's an all-time great playoff quarterback. It's just it hasn't always been his fault. Football is a team game.
Matthew Kruger says, Neal, shut the F up and smoke some of D-Mac's weed. Well, Matt, it would make for not as good of a show. Like, I have to talk at some point.
Stole it all.
Yeah, plus BMG has that all locked.
It's all mine. It's all mine.
Down.
Yeah, so Matthew, I'm sorry. I'm under contract to talk, ma'am. You can feel free to move on.
But I will, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell you about Guardian Alarm. Yeah, let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, professional technicians who take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. But I need you to call Guardian Alarm today. The number, 1-800.
Stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring. Call anytime, day or night. Know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as it's needed. But I need you to call them the number today, 1-800.
Stay out.
Technology backed by people. Yes, real people. Flesh and blood. Homo sapiens. Safety and security deserves technologies that have been proven to work. And people, yes, people who have proven to care. Listen, we argue all the time on here, but it doesn't get back to semantics that what matters matters. Like Sam Flannel, even him, the legend killer. Yes, you hear how we talk to each other, back and forth, disagree. But one thing, Guardian Alarm has had flannel protection for how many straight days, Sam?
283.
283 days of flannel protection, yes, for even that guy, which tells me doesn't matter if it's business, doesn't matter if it's personal, whatever it is, Guardian Alarm is there for you. So please give the number a call. Here it is, 1-800.
Stay out. Stay out of the finals, Miami Heat. Yes, Boston's coming back and winning.
Oof. All right, we're just going to break. We're going to break.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
Can't get enough Woodward sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, BMG, Big Mike Gentry in for Spenmo Rax, but we were chopping it up, and I did want to get to this because we teased it, we talked about it. It is that time right now, and I touched on this before. You're starting to see some of the other media entities in this town like finally talk a little bit of hockey. And I got to say, D-Mac and BMG, you feel free to chime in on this as well. I hear them be very flippant about Steve Yzerman's got to go do something, and he's got to go get Austin Matthews. Toronto's going to break apart at the seams, and they're going to get rid of everybody, which I don't buy as easily. Now, you want to sell me on Winnipeg doing it? Maybe. But, I mean, I don't buy Toronto just tearing it apart with a Hart Trophy finalist, MVP type player Austin Matthews in the center.
I would expect they're going to do everything to retain him. There are other guys on that roster though, and the William Nylanders and the Mitch Marners and guys that will be available.
Maybe even John Tavares.
Winnipeg too, but in saying to Steve Yzerman, he has the draft capital, he has the war chest and he has the players that he could put a package together if Toronto did want to move. That's the first thing. Does Brendan Shanahan want to move Austin Matthews?
Okay, so we figured we would have a little fun here.
And if they did, if Toronto wanted to move, what would the cost be?
Absolutely. So I want to Jack Harrington, John Tavares sucks. That comes from an Islanders fan. He is like 100 too. He doesn't really fit.
No, I wasn't saying move for them, but I could see the Maple Leafs moving on from him.
Yeah, like he doesn't really fit the profile here. So let's look at it from a realistic perspective, unlike some other entities around this town.
I want to hear do you know what the other places were saying that the offers were?
Yeah, Lindsey Hunter and Terry Mills for Austin Matthews. Like that was their standard go-to.
Oh, it's gonna cost.
Their standard
you're not
go-to
gonna
package.
Are you prepared Yeah, and I just started writing names down.
Yeah, okay.
Right? I just started writing names down, and I put in a few draft positions or something like this. But do you want Mike to start? Do you want me to start with be prepared that this would be an opening package, something around here?
Yes, and then I want Gentry's tweaks to it, and then you'll get my answer. But yes, Darren McCarty.
Well, are you willing? And it would probably be 3 out of 4 of these guys, and at least, and so your number 9 first round pick, probably 2 of your second round picks, or maybe 1 of your seconds and 1 of your thirds. So there's 3 draft choices here, right? It could be both first round picks, depending on what it is, but at least 3 draft choices.
Okay.
Of your first 6.
Which doesn't help me for a minimum of 3 years.
Right. Exactly.
3 to 4 years. Okay.
No, exactly. So now we're talking about what does help you. So the one, are you willing to put a package together of a Simon Edvinsson, a Carter Mazer, a Lucas Raymond, 3, and maybe like a Vollander, a younger guys that are on their rookie contracts that are affordable for them. You can plug Raymond in right away. Is Edvinson's like so what I'm talking about, if you're saying out there, but DMAC, those are guys that you have on your roster moving forward for Steve Yzerman. And what I'm saying is that, to give up, you're gonna have to give up. I had Marco Kasper circled there, but I think that from what we've seen and the fast track of him, that he is off the books, just like a Mo Sider would be off the books. Everybody else, including the Sebastian Cossa, including something like that, is in a conversation. Now, if I think that Sebastian Cossa, the goaltender who's in Toledo now, who's expected heir apparent, right, and Marco Kasper, your last year's first round draft pick that got in a game this year at 18 years old, are your untouchables, but everybody else is available.
So you have multiple untouchables. You have a couple.
I have Kasper and Sider.
Okay.
Right? Because they're but as far as that, everybody else is fair game.
All right, BMG, just I want you to weigh in, give me your thoughts, where you're at with it, etc.
I'm kind of around the same, right where DMAX is at. I would say Kasper is like a must. If you're trading for a guy like Austin Matthews, I don't even think they're answering the phone unless you include a guy like that. And I think it has to be 2 first-round picks no matter what, no matter if it's 1 this year, 1 next year. You have a decent amount, so they're going to ask for that. And then it's going to be a second-round pick. And then I still think it's got to be a defenseman. You're going to add in a Wallinder. I don't want to add Simon Edvinsson, but
the defenseman is my non-negotiable. If
you're going to have to add one of them in.
And just getting me thinking on the spot to the fact of what you said about the draft picks, but Marco Kasper could be the non-negotiable because he's ready to play. Yeah. At 18 or 19 years old, what Toronto would want back would be a young guy that they can put in the. So yes, so you'd have to decide that if you're Steve Yzerman, who are your non-negotiables? You're saying Edvinsson and Sider are your non-negotiables.
Yeah,
right?
Well, for me, playing the part of Toronto, and look. This guy won the MVP
are we
last
in the
year.
Ballpark? Are we? Can we continue conversations?
I got to have you readjust your thought process about Sider. I have to. I have to.
So that's.
He's an MVP of the league.
So you know what? I get it.
Yeah.
But
he scored 60 goals last year.
Goodbye.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Because you know what? I'm gonna go. I actually think that a Marner or a Nylander is absolutely more somebody that he can get as a Connors or a Dubois, right? I don't even know if Austin Matthews is Steve Yzerman's guy.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing, and yeah. So I don't see it. I wouldn't do it. But we're talking about legit names.
Because DMAC, again, I go back to it. Look at what Calgary got for Tkachuk. 115-point guy, a top-tier prospect, a first-round pick. That's for Tkachuk, an MVP finalist. Matthews won an MVP and has a 60-goal season. And, oh, by the way, I feel like Sam Flannel right now, has 300 goals in 480 games. You know what you're getting with Austin Matthews. And here's my kicker.
And here's the kicker. 1 playoff round win.
100%. But here's my kicker.
The Matthew Tkachuk thing or whatever like that, but that's to put you over the edge. You see it, the effect, what they needed in Florida.
Because I feel as though that's, as I look at the Red Wings, I feel as though that's what you need. There's Matthews has extra value to you than it does to everybody else. So I'm here to capitalize on that.
Steve Yzerman's on the same page, and at the end of the day, it's hashtag Yzer play 1919. Mo Seider's I would converse about Casper, and you could get me off that, but Mo Seider, no.
No? So it's dead for you.
I wouldn't. There's no way.
I can get you Austin Matthews.
Because the NHL is built by Mo Seiders first. The Hedmans, the Cale Makars, and then you need the 1C. Yes.
But you have those guys, right?
No.
I thought,
Mo Seider.
Don't you have Edmondson? All these other guys you're trying to sell me.
Edmondson is whoever compliments Nick Lidstrom, right? Like Seider's your Lidstrom, your Hedman, your guy. Right? Edmondson, as great as he is still a complimentary to your big guy. It's like the Chernaks or the Svechnikovs or whatever in Florida that are great players, but you're not Victor Hedman. Where does you pivot around? And the NHL now, and it could resort back to the number one center. You need that number one, but you need that ice logging defenseman. Like the guy that plays 30 minutes. Look at the Montours and the Ekblads in Florida right now that play 28 minutes. You look at, Heiskanen, the guys that play, half the game. Though that's where it starts.
And personally, I would way rather have a Nylander or a Marner over Matthews. Like, obviously you want Matthews, but for
what's the missing element on this Red Wings team?
You need a goal scorer, and Nylander can do just that too, and he's a winger. But I mean, obviously you want centers. You would love to have Austin Matthews, but the Marner intrigues me because Dylan Larkin at the All-Star game was so hyped to play with him. Obviously, it's an All-Star game. Who really gives a shit? But that, and then Nylander's a winger. And D-Mac brought up a good point. Look at Winnipeg. That is the team that you should be looking to pick pieces off of. You got Dubois, you got Kyle Connor. Those are guys that you can get for way less than the Toronto guys, and they're going to fit in just as nicely, if not better.
Right, but again, I go to it, and the reason that I can ask you for Seider is because I have an MVP center. And guess what? Everybody else who can't get to the price, and there's precedence for this guy. I'm not just pulling this out of my ass. I gave you what it cost to get Tkachuk. I gave you what it cost.
Yeah.
So it's not unrealistic. And guess what everybody else in the world that's going to do that couldn't, quote, afford Austin Matthews? Guess what else they're all going to do? They're going to call Winnipeg too.
Yeah.
The price goes up, man.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You got you have the war chest to offer whatever you want to whoever you want. I believe you can win more with Mo Seider and Kyle Connors than you can without Mo Seider and Austin Matthews. That's just me. I think Connors, because it's how it works in the room. I think if I have my choice right now, give me Nylander and give me Connors.
Yeah, I'll take Kyle Connor any day of the week.
There's your 1C and your freaking sniper to whatever else. Right, with the kids that are coming up.
Do you have the assets to make that happen?
Hell yeah, you got all the draft capital to what's Winnipeg going to do. If we're talking about Winnipeg, right, they're looking to rebuild. They're looking to crash it down. You heard of their coach, whatever. Yeah. You have the assets. You have the players to improve.
And I'm sad the segment's over, but I'm going to sneak this in right here anyway. You know what my play is on this? Because
are you still Toronto? Or are you
no, I'm back.
You're back. You're back. Welcome back, dude.
I think it's good to be back. Here's where I am with it. I will go back to my original plan, and I know people don't like this, and it maybe puts the playoff push on hold. Is I'm going to hold the fort, and I will make Toronto and Austin Matthews choke on a contract next year. Choke on it.
So you don't give it to him. That's fine. You're moving on. I don't even know if Austin Matthews is part of Steve Yzerman's future. Maybe it is.
Yeah. Although at the same point, I would entertain the Seider.
I'd rather pay Connors and Nylander.
Yeah. I would entertain the Seider thing. I'm tired of not being able to score goals.
Never.
I'm tired of it.
Yeah, and before that, we were tired of not being able to have a good defenseman, and we had fucking Jonathan Erickson out there. So now we got the one.
But we have the depth. I was told we have the depth.
No, you don't
That
have
is
the
the
depth.
depth. That's where the depth
No,
starts.
but you
Christ's
got to
sake.
give something to get something, man.
Yeah, but you're not giving that because
Winnipeg's not taking two second rounders for
today.
Connors.
Those are the golden geese in the NHL. Those are the special guys, the Alex Pietrangelos, the guys that can play those defense, that can contribute on the power play, kill penalties, and be those. They're more important than the 1C right now. You can't like that. That's just my. Hey, what do I know? I only have 4 cups. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying, and Stevie could be the whole other way. Like, and I'm sure it would be bad business not to entertain. But I'm not entertaining Darren McCarty, and that's why I sit up here on Big D Energy and not behind a phone for the Red Wings.
And that's why we're glad. That's why we're glad of that, D-Mac.
Where would I go if I need some health care, mental health help?
Let me tell you about the sports. Let me tell you about the sports marketing
Thank
agency.
goodness.
They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast is called This is the S Word, a series that helps address the stigma associated with seeking help. If you're struggling or someone you know is struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Again, thesportsma.com. The sports marketing agency. They're here to help.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Coming down the stretch, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Mike G says, D-Mac, I don't think we have an asset on roster for Toronto to bite. Some of the reaction to it. Brandon says Matthews is worth $15 million a year to Toronto. And my plan was to just go take Austin Matthews, and I forgot Toronto has more cap space than us after next year because we signed Larkin.
I think that's their guy. I mean, you got to sort of be stuck with him, right? But I also don't think that he's the guy to put you over the edge with what you'd have to give up, unless you can get him in free agency and just sign him for money.
Just cost of cost of acquisition, money. Just cost of money,
yep.
Right? So yeah, it is one of those things. It's weird to me, like Winnipeg, right? They talk about how they got to bust things up and stuff like that. Like they left $12 million of cap space on the books this year, which was kind of weird.
That's not Neal Ruhlish.
No. So yeah, that's kind of weird. My apologies. I was looking at next year. $12.2 million next year they have. So they have all those guys under contract. So I just don't understand the point of busting them up, like how everybody talks about. But I guess they got $12 million, but that doesn't count Dubois. And they got some issues, I guess. So maybe they are at a fork in the road. Maybe they are. So I wanted to have that discussion where it's real. Like we can say, hey, we'll give you a first and a second, and Edvinson, and that'll get Austin Matthews. That ain't getting it done.
Not even close.
Yeah, let's get in reality. So, yeah, but it will be interesting to see. What about that though? That and some of it I think is talk radio, talk media shtick where he's got to make a big move. I don't feel that way. I don't feel like he's like people want to portray it like Yzerman's painted into a corner.
He's got a game plan, and it's thought out down the road. And obviously, sometimes it changes and stuff like this. But gosh darn it, guys, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. What
he's great also too is reading the tea leaves with other teams and which direction they're going to go. I mean, it's almost, the information he got, the due diligence that he does. He's got a full, not only finger on the pulse of his organization, but the league and everybody else. That's the whole thing. So whatever direction it is, Neal, it's the hashtag Wiser plan. So you know what? Maybe it is. Like, who are we? Like, they don't have to do shit. We just got to sit here and watch what he does.
And I'm the more, like, the further this goes along, the more cool I am with it. And for me, and look, maybe I'm built different. Maybe I just have a different opinion. I still honestly believe, and this isn't shtick or anything, I tell you guys this, anything I've ever said in this microphone, I honestly believe. I think if he doesn't trade a pick, and he makes all 3 of those second-round picks, he will get an all-star with one of those 3 second-round picks. Steve Eisman's not going to be wrong 3 times in a row. He's just not. And that's why, for me, if they don't make a move, I'm not going to knock over a table or anything like that.
It's his plan. Right? It's his plan. And then what happens? What happens? Then he comes out and tells you was never going to make a move there. We weren't buyers at all. He comes out, he's going to tell you exactly why he did what he did, and then you're going to sit there and go, okay, or you're not. Like, that's the whole thing. Has he not? Has he done a move that he hasn't explained, or his thought process, whether you agree or not? It's not about agreeing with him. I disagree with him for most of my life. But the heck, he's mostly right. That's to my detriment. It's just the truth.
I love your moments of self-awareness.
It's so true. That's what I wish you guys, and I guess I don't understand because everybody else doesn't have it. It's just that I lived through it, and I just know, and I see it, and he operates the same way. Leadership and the way that men lead, it transcends. I mean, it's like smelling a new car smell that Spenny got today. Right? It's like when Stevie cooks, he's cooking his own meal. You can't replicate it. It's like Da Vinci, doing the Mona Lisa.
Yeah. No, you're right. You know what I want, D-Mac? Here's where, this is a long way of getting to this point. I want people to be consistent then.
Yeah.
Where, like Nicholas Duncan says, he'll find a Fedorov. Okay, cool. I don't dispute that. But that's 5 years away. Like, let's get in, I'll be in reality. Like, I'll live in reality. So the people that say, and there are a lot of people saying patience and stuff like that. Okay, then I don't want to read the text next year.
Patience, but we're playoff team next year. Remember that. So whatever Stevie wants to do in the offseason and the draft, as long as he gets us to the playoffs, we don't make the playoffs, you'll be hearing from me.
And it's funny because I think, here's how I anticipate this to go. I think we're going to have a role reversal next year, where when they hit the bump in the road to go to the playoffs, I'm going to be like, well, D-Mac, they made all those picks. He's got the plan. Because you get animated, right? Like, you get going and
Unless
stuff like that.
Unless he tells me that it's changed.
Right.
But right now it hasn't.
And I think, I just want fans to be consistent. Like, the people are saying patience. People are saying that's too expensive. If they struggle scoring goals, then I don't want to hear it. If you had the ability to do it and you said, you mean it actually costs something to do it? No, I don't want to do that. For an MVP center, there's like, 2 of these guys in the league? 3 of them? Tops?
He's special. He's top 3.
Yeah. Like, that's
top 5.
That's what we're talking about here.
I'm going to put Jack Eichel back up there because he's...
So he's back up there now.
He's back.
Who's been more like this than Jack Eichel?
Well, it's health.
Yeah, it's true.
No, it's health and the neck surgery and coming back and but just that's the guy that's really like stepped back into the spotlight of greatness, in my opinion, right now. And if Vegas wins the cup, I mean, he's been that one. He's been the guy that he's always been expected to be since he was drafted to Buffalo.
Yeah, and again, he's great. Obviously, he's great. When he's available, he's great. And we're seeing it. And you were right to put him back there. So I wanted to put that out there because I do think it was underrated / not enough attention was made of it when he did his media availability after the trade deadline and was just like, he looked confounded. He's like, we were never going to be buyers.
Right,
And,
like
and
you're,
he laid it out there.
So you're an idiot for even thinking it, right? He's gonna come back and make you feel like that all the time. I'm used to it. I'm used to it. But you know what else? You could get used to. How would you like to win not one but two vehicles of your choice? One for you and your wife, your girlfriend, your best bud. Get to Lady Jade's today. Not only for an award-winning haircut, but automatically enter to win your chance for a free 2 cars courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You can get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Rockstar here with you. Happy to have you all along for the ride. And just to give you an idea of how quickly things move, like we were talking about it. Mo Sider, he's in his restricted free agency year next year. Just like that, man. It's amazing how fast time goes by.
Absolutely. And that'll get done. That'll be a priority, no doubt.
Yes, it will. Oh, you know what else, D-Mac? We're less than 100 days away from the start of college football.
Wow. Okay. All right.
We're getting there.
We are getting there. I still do like college football more.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's my favorite sport. I love the NFL. I love the Lions. But when Michigan football is good, that gets me happier than anything.
When Michigan...
Those sounds come out of the booth.
Yeah. When Michigan, buttons up the chin strap and takes on East Carolina.
I knew it was coming.
And UNLV and Bowling Green and Rutgers, the first month of the season, it sets the tone for everything that's going to happen.
But remember, you said you were cool with it. You do the same thing.
You're dumb. You're dumb. Like Utah is dumb.
Yeah.
Utah is playing home against Florida. They're at Baylor. They're at USC. They're at Washington. They're home against Oregon. Like, what are they doing?
That's 2 or 3 losses baked in. Just that. They actually made Anthony Richardson look pretty good going on the road to Florida last year, for the record.
Yeah, but at the end of the year, though, whose problems do you not want in a bowl game?
Utah's.
You don't want Utah's problem. You guys better not slip up and end up in the Rose Bowl against Utah.
Yeah, because USC, they wanted no part of Utah.
No.
And Utah gave it to them. Even though I was the one who said USC was going to win. I was wrong.
I tried to tell you, man, but you're young and you don't want to listen. But I am, D-Mac. I love me some college football.
That's good. No, college football. It's always exciting and interesting around here and stuff like this, and the expectations, reality for Michigan. Sam, what are your expectations right now with 100 days left going in? Going
Big Ten championship. Then whatever happens.
No, I wasn't.
No, is this the year with the backfield that you have and Edwards and Corum and JJ McCarthy and Neal will joke about the Heisman, all of them being at the Heisman and stuff like this. But is this legitimately the year where they get a playoff victory?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's never been a more talented backfield in Michigan history than having J.J. McCarthy, Blake Corum, and Donovan Edwards. I think that plays a huge part. I think this is the year. Alabama just lost Bryce Young. Georgia's lost quite a few players. I don't look too much into the Stetson Bennett loss, but still, they've lost a lot of players to the draft. I know they kind of reload every year. Clemson, they haven't really been a powerhouse lately. Post Trevor Lawrence, they're a bit of a question mark. I think this is the year where Michigan's got to do it. They got Ohio State at home. It's all set up. They got to go do it.
Just win the Big Ten title, man. That's all that matters.
Said it. You didn't even listen to a word I said. Just
win the Big Ten title.
Never said that.
Whatever happens after that happens.
I said
man.
national championship, and you just it just went right there, way over that head of yours.
A little bit of late breaking news concerning college football, as a matter of fact. The Michigan State-Penn State game that will be Black Friday will be played at Ford Field at night. Ooh. So there is a bit of news for that.
That's saucy.
Financially speaking, the Michigan State Spartans will refund all the season ticket holders for that game and all the students for that game, which means that they got a juicier guarantee to play the game at Ford Field than they will at Michigan State. Let me translate that for you. We'll make more money playing at Ford Field than we will at Michigan State.
Whew, that's rough. I don't know. I like to see all the teams get their home games in a perfect world, because home environments for college football, there's just nothing like it. It doesn't translate at Ford Field. I mean, we'll see. I just don't think it will. We'll see, right?
We will see.
We go see.
Maybe that tells you like their Detroit Sports Commission is going to try to get in the mix for a college football playoff.
Well, doesn't it smell that way with
does.
everything that's going downtown? I mean, obviously we know with the draft, and if you're a WWE fan, SummerSlam coming down but everything else, but it leans towards, it should be. With all the excitement and everything going on downtown and stuff like this, Ford Field would be a great place to host one of those bowl games.
Yep. So word around the streets is, too, with NBC being in the television mix, NBC might be televising that game if they're not already. I can't remember which one it was. So, welcome to the new age, everybody. This is how it works. This is how it works.
Is this Chuck? Is this a? And I'll be devil's advocate. Chuck Brewer State worried about home attendance this year. Penn State should have been one of their bigger gates, but does this mean more Penn State people will come down to Ford Field so they'll get a bigger crowd? Does that have something to do with it, or no?
No, I think it's just a matter of fact that Ford Field will cut them a bigger check than the revenue they would have made of hosting the game themselves.
All right.
And Chuck, get used to this. You are beholden to the television networks now. You've sold your soul. You've sold your soul, and you got to get out on the streets and make the money now. Like, that's the way this works. And I know, cue the, I hate this, This is the way it works, everybody. Your soul has been sold. When NBT tells you to jump, you will say how high. That's it. That's all. Maybe this will be a Peacock stream only. Who knows? D-Mac, get ready. Guys,
we're
get ready.
Towards it. I mean, it is the way it is, but I think that, I've come to grips with that. Right? I told you what I do. Plug in another TV. So I don't have to flip channels. I watch 2 different TVs going on. I mean, somebody in the chat thread today is watching 5. They didn't have one in the shitter, which I said you probably should have one in the shitter, because that's where Sam Flannel's takes are served the best.
Jack Harrington, roll tide. Can't wait for SEC football. Yep. Now Max Mayer says TV contracts are ruining sports. I mean, that depends on your perspective, Max. Ask the university presidents if it's ruining sports. They would disagree with you.
Seems like there's more money coming in.
Ask the football.
What's the Big Ten deal? And
by the way, too, we'll get into this, I think. Come to find out, all those loose ends weren't tied up with this whole Big Ten mega deal, that apparently maybe the 2026 Big Ten championship game was promised to NBC, and Fox was like, oh, wait, what? Yeah.
Oh, shenanigans.
Yeah. So it's really weird.
Stop it. We'll talk.
Yeah.
Get some help.
Just get right. Hey, you guys, we've only just begun. We've only just begun. Sadly, the show, however, is only just ending right now. But appreciate everybody tapping into the show, as always. For Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, BMG, Big Mike Gentry. My name is Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping in.
Deuces.
Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.